Okay, this is New Hampshire Track and Field.com, powered by Runners Alley, coming to you from the 2021 Division III State Championships Meet Hub, brought to you by Tim's Truck Capital. So we get the 4x800 underway. So it's a big field here. We got Kearsarge, Guilford, Hopkinton, Newfound Regional, Prospect Mountain, Conant, Raymond, and Messinic Regional. Top team comes in Kearsarge. It's 10:39:29.
We were thinking that Portsmouth Christian could put together a team to, chase the Division III state record, but after the injury of Ella Malone, that ended up not being a possibility, and they're not even in the race today.
No, because they had three of the rest. Hopkinton got the early lead, coming in at 1:11.
So it's definitely going out pretty fast.
Kearsarge, Guilford, Conant, Newport. Newfound,
It's like a Hopkinton seated about 40 seconds ahead of the number 2 team. So.
Oh, so yeah. I'm glad you caught that because I didn't see that in order.
Oh, it's seated out of order, right. So Hopkinton's the only team listed sub 10. So this isn't actually a surprising thing to see.
And the Hopkinton girls have been tough over the years. Right up middle school, the high school, dominating in cross country, and I recognize quite a few of those names, especially O'Reilly, Stockwell.
Right, so they have to go about 2:29 a piece to run their seed time at 9:56. Obviously, 2:30 is 10-minute pace, and so it's a pretty good accomplishment breaking 10 in the 4x8.
Looks like they're going to be pretty close to that 2:29.
Yeah, they're definitely right on it. Pretty much exactly 2:29 coming through. So. We have Kearsarge in second, Conant in third, then followed by Guilford, Prospect Mountain, and Raymond.
No issues with the handoff so far.
And then that's Newfound.
Away, Molly! Good job!
And rounding out will be Messinic. So they're doing splits today, too, so that's pretty good.
So Lancer Timing is doing the timing today. As always, the best in the business.
Right.
We can't ask for any more than them. They come here, set up, and first-class project they got going here.
Yeah, they definitely, they improve every year. It's pretty good.
Had a hard year last year with the COVID, no meets, and to come back and put it all back together again. I'm glad we still have them.
Yep, absolutely. Hop just put down a 75, so she's on pace for that 2:30. Right, so we're trying to talk about you want to be around 2:30 or sub 2:30 if you want to break 10. Meet record here for Division III.
9:59.17.
Right, so that actually could get broken here by their seed time. Their seed time is listed fast there.
Yeah, they're on pace for it right now.
Right, and a reminder, you have to get the state record, you have to do it at the state meet. So it doesn't matter if you do it in some just like dual meet. You have to do it at the Division III meet. It's more of a meet record.
Yeah, it's a little harder to run time like that on state meet day than any given meet during the year.
Yes, especially some people are doing other events, and it's hard to stack a team like that.
Yeah, you're trying to win a state meet. Sometimes you got people doing.
And this state meet's wide open. I don't even know who the favorite is here.
Right.
Because no one's really gone against anybody. So,
And you don't have last year's results to look at either.
Exactly. It's wide open, and that's the best year because you want to get off to a good start. As we see, so that was a 2:38 right there, so they're a little bit off pace. They need a fast third leg, and I think this is Kaylee Stockwell, if I'm not mistaken here.
Keep coming. Hey, girl, great job.
That's a good person to be handing off to.
Yeah, and they already got about 75 meters on number 2.
Yeah, so I think, pending a drastic, maybe a baton drop or something goes crazy, I think Hopkinton's going to be the champion for this.
Actually, I think that was Anna O'Reilly.
With the baton now?
Yeah, third leg.
Maybe I missed.
It's the third leg.
And we'll see when she comes around again. The seeds have you at a certain order, but it can always change meet day, and sometimes, depending on strategy, how you want to have. Sometimes you have your fastest person lead off, sometimes you have them anchor, sometimes you have them in the middle.
It'll be interesting to see. I don't know if they're aiming for that state record or not, but if they're in the team conversation, you'd almost want your runners to kind of back off if you got that big of a lead. If they're going to be running multiple events.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because there's no point in going in the reserve if you don't need it. If come another event, maybe a mile or 800 or even 3,200 where you need that kick and you just used it up in the 4x800.
Right, you get the same amount of points whether you win by 400 meters or 20 meters.
True,
so.
Very true. See that, but that's when, so you either go all out and try to break the state record or you just go for the win. There's no point in running 10 minutes if you're not going to get the state record because no one remembers the second fastest Division III time, and it's just kind of how you got to think about it. If you're in the team race, if not, just rip it home.
Right, and maybe they could also have like a school record in mind or something that wouldn't exactly come up on the overall results, but
True.
Still want to go for time.
And the record's 11 years old. It's definitely stood the test of time a little bit.
Yeah, so that would be pretty impressive if they can claw back a little bit of time if they can break that.
Yeah, they'd have to claw back a lot of time now at this point.
Yeah. And the overall state record is pretty much untouchable. 9:15 is flying.
That is fast.
Oh, yeah.
7:51 through 3 legs. So if they want the state record, they're going to have to run a 2:07 and change or better. So that won't happen today.
But she definitely looks good.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, she's flying.
Yeah, so this is when you want someone, maybe a coach or something on the sideline to let you know whether the record's out of reach.
Right.
And say, just ease off it now.
Wave him down. That's usually how it goes. The team that has the best 4x8 usually going to have at least 1 or 2 of those runners competing to win or medal or get on a podium.
Right. You think? The 4x8's kind of middle ground. You probably got distance runners and middle distance, in the 4x8. So it's a good spread of events.
So with the bell lap.
That was a good lap right there.
Yeah, very good lap.
Oh yeah, everybody watching, you'll know when it's bell lap because it's about 3 feet from us.
Yeah, you'll definitely hear it. Yes, that was a 70. So she's on paper for a 220 herself. So she definitely did her job.
Yeah, that'll be the quickest leg for them.
800s are usually positive split, which means like they go out, say you go out in 70 seconds, you come back in 75 or something like that. That's usually how it goes, but sometimes there's anomalies. So we'll see how it happens right here. But she needs 15 seconds to close for the state record, and it's impossible. So, but very good performance, and looks like Hopkinton's going to be Division III state champions.
By a lot.
Yeah.
Good race from them. And we still got Kearsarge in second.
Yeah, it's very spread out. It's kind of hard to see who where's where.
All right, so here we got Hopkinton coming through the line. 10:24-ish.
Yeah, so she basically ran like 2:21, or maybe 2:31 actually. Right, because they were sub. Yeah, 2:31. So that's, I mean, right on pace, pretty much.
All right, and this is number 2. This is Kearsarge coming down the final stretch.
She ran a decent last 800.
Yeah, to keep them under 11. That's great.
So Hopkinton 10:23.93, Kearsarge 10:58.74.
35-second gap.
Conant taking third place.
Yeah, I think Kearsarge is big in the team battle today. So, I mean, 8 points.
11:15.40.
It's good.
Newfound. Prospect Mountain.
Raymond, I think, bringing up the end of that group.
Yeah, so that's the top 6 right there.
Those are your point scorers. Guilford, 7th. And so there's 8 relay teams this year. That's what they took in. So Raymond was 11:31.08.
It's usually 12, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, it boosts your odds of medaling or scoring points, because the point system is first is 10, second is 8, third is 6, fourth is 4, fifth is 2, and sixth is 1 point.
And the Scenic was 8th place.
And every point counts. Especially when there's an unknown, no one knows who's the top, and head-to-heads.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little hard, early on in the meet, you don't really know how significant points are going to be.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, you're like, oh man, if we just got one more point in, the 4x8 or one of the early events, it makes a difference. So.
Yep.
Kearsarge, I believe, is the defending state champions from 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. You have to go back and think about how many of those people have graduated. I mean, it's not like college where you can redshirt. It's if you lost your season, you lost your season, and that's that.
Right. So I mean, we could have teams last year that maybe had a lot of seniors coming up, looking really good for the state championship, but they're all gone.
Right. And the seniors here, I mean, these are seniors that went sophomores to seniors just like that. And the junior year is vital. I mean, for developing into a track athlete.
Yeah, that's a lot of times when you see some big jumps in performance.
And so today we go back to the traditional. It'll be the top 1 per heat, and the next 6 advance into the finals for the 100-meter hurdles. And so the girls we have in this first heat is Molly Lou McAleer of Newfound, Alina Tremp of Mascoma Valley, Gwen Pelchet of Berlin, Kate Cochran of Kearsarge, Tori Allen of Campbell, and Cassidy Bonsaint of Somersworth.
And I think Eliza Bates is the overall favorite. She's in the second heat. They usually do the first heat is like the second fastest, or
Yeah, they mix it up. They
Yeah.
mix it up quite well. Will we get team scores? Do you know?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay.
We'll send you some results over periodically.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah.
maybe the announcer.
I can't get the team scores onto that.
Okay.
It's a different computer.
Will it be on there though? Like, could I go on and check?
It's on the web. It's on the phone.
Yeah. Okay.
It's on the phone now.
So after so many events,
There were two disqualifications in that race.
there was
Conant and Newfound.
running on the inside.
No,
So
through the
third
zone.
and fourth.
They went out of the zone in the pass.
On a 4x8?
Talk to Larry Martin. The team score should be on the phone.
Okay, thank you.
If you want hard copies,
All right.
All right, so that's interesting. We just found out, what was it, Conant and Newfound
Yep, third and fourth place of the 4x8.
DQ'd.
And that could be the difference between winning the state championship sometimes and
Yeah, I mean,
not.
that's good points right there.
I mean, look, because now Prospect Mountain, where they were going to score 2 points, now scoring 6. 4 points, just like that. And Conant's, I mean, that's a huge swing.
Right, and then, I mean, you also got, like Guilford and Messinic who have 0, and now they're bumped up into the points
Exactly.
spots, so.
I mean, it's pretty good getting last place and you can get a point. That doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
And so the reason of the disqualifications was zoning. So you have to pass in between blue triangles, and that didn't happen. with the
Which is a
baton.
little unusual for a 4x8.
Very unusual.
Because, you're not going through the zone too fast.
if you go backwards in the zone too, if you step over the triangle.
That's true. If you have your left foot or something
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, you got to watch out, the person receiving the baton isn't outside the zone.
So I wonder if it's one of those situations where, because there was 2 of them, it's usually one team. So I wonder if they both looked at each other thinking they were okay, and they just made the mistake.
Right, they just line up based off of each other, and they're both out of the zone.
But they're both out of
Could
the
be.
Fourth place, Raymond. Third place, Prospect Mountain.
Yeah, so as we were saying with these 100 hurdles, they usually mix up the first heat. It's not like other events where you stack the first heat and then you have a slower second heat. You pretty much mix them up that way, and you give preference to the fastest seed. So the fastest seed will be in the second heat with slower times. That way it makes it easier for her to get in the final, just as if the top seed in any tournament would go against the bottom seed to make it easier for them to get in the finals.
Right, I mean, if you had the fastest people, say, in one heat and then a slower heat, then the final is going to look almost identical. So
It makes no sense. Yeah, especially if you have one auto and then the 6 next. It doesn't make any sense. But sometimes people think about that because you want to do it with like throwing and jumping. Right, you stack a heat, but that's not really how it works with heats and on the track.
Right. But then the thing about that is, if you win your heat, then obviously you've made it. But if you don't, then you're not really sure where you are. You're based off of time after that. So, you got to kind of make sure that you're still running a decent time. Because you could come in second in one heat and not make it if the other heat was a lot faster.
Right. And a lot of the times the heat that is harder to win is the first one because everybody has similar times. There's no outright favorite. But on the flip side of that, so where it's harder to get the automatic to the finals, it's also more likely to have the next 6 advance from that heat because it's a faster race by product of everybody's trying to win versus in the other heat when there's a far out favorite, it's pretty much set.
Although the second heat, has the advantage of kind of knowing what, generally the times are going to be to make it into the final.
Yep.
They watch the first heat run and say, okay, I need a, maybe like a 17-1 in order to make it into the final.
I wonder how much that. I'm not a hurdler, but I'm wondering how much that actually does come in your mind. Can you affect it that much? Like knowing 17.1 versus 16.8.
Probably a little harder at the high school level.
Yeah. I'm sure college they probably have it down. But
If you're at the trials or something, you probably know exactly what probably not a 17-1, but say like a 14 feels like, and you could probably vary it by a couple tenths. But
so they're getting their warm-ups in right now.
Yeah, so we don't kick off till 5 p.m. So they get their 4x800 relay on at 4:30, and 5 p.m. is when the next race hits off.
Because they're trying to separate it out, because obviously this is just the girls, right? Usually there'd be the boys 4x8, which is another 10, 12 minutes separation, and then you have the girls hurdles, boys hurdles going back and forth. But to combat that, because people would be going event, they're doing it on a time schedule, which gives the athletes a little bit more time to recover, get some water, get cool down, do what they got to do to get ready for the next event.
Yeah, I mean it's probably pretty unlikely that you're running 4x8 and then hurdles, but later in the day it might come into play where you could be running an event, finish, and then you don't want them to immediately just hop back on the line for the next event.
Yeah, I mean you could be going 4x8 1600,
right?
Which is
70 minutes. That's
right.
That's a good. Well, not really 70 minutes, but it would still give you about an hour, anyways.
Right, as it is now. But if it wasn't, if we just, because the hurdles would already be done by now, and they'd already be doing the mile right now, and that there's runners from Hopkinton and Kearsarge, those top girls that were in that race, that they're going to be in that mile. So it's good to have it like that. Yeah, and just scanning all the seed lists of all the different events, there's no team that's an outright favorite. It doesn't appear so. It seems like it's anybody's meat to take. You're going to get a lot of points in the distance race from Portsmouth Christian, Liza Corzo and Brianna Malone. But how much are you going to get in the other events? So it'll be a tight one.
I mean, that's the thing. You always see, there'll be certain teams that are maybe, heavy in jumps or sprinting or distance or what have you. But I mean, a lot of times it's teams that don't necessarily have big powerhouses in certain events, but just are scoring solid points, all day long.
Right.
Because it adds up.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, if you're getting somebody who's getting 6 points in every event versus someone who gets 10 points in one event, 0 in the other, I mean, do the math there. That 6 is better than that 10 and 0 right there. I mean, that's 6 versus 5. So you're right. You don't really need to win that many events, but if you're placing high and if there's DQs above you like we just saw, that adds up. That absolutely adds up. So, I mean, it doesn't take a lot to win a meet. I mean, what do you think? 70, 80 points wins you?
Easily.
So there you go. If you can just scrap together maybe even 60. 60 puts you right in it.
Could be 60 today with that many points spread over the board, spread over.
Right, so if you get third in 10 events, you win.
Not bad.
If you break it down like that, it doesn't seem that hard. And how many events are there? Probably 14, 15?
Yeah.
So it's not about being a hit or miss, and that's how it should be. It's about the best team.
Especially if you have athletes doing multiple events, it's like, by the end of the day, it's like you're not going to be expecting them to win every event, if they're doing 4 events in a day. But, as long as they can score some decent points.
Yeah, and if you have that one freak athlete that is in so many events, a lot of times these with these state championship meets, if you have just one sprinter who's really, really good, they can win the 100, 200, maybe even 400.
Yeah, a lot of times the jumps too. Yeah.
So that's 40 points. Call me crazy, but I watched it firsthand happen in Division One. When I was a freshman, Angel Feliz did it, and Dalton Mutz was second in all those events, and so that right there was 70 points.
So Kearsarge last time when they won with 80 points. Second best team had 49. Third best team had 45.
Yeah, so not a huge amount of points to win.
That
18
Kearsarge
events.
team also had Maya Doobie, right?
Yeah.
Who won the Triple Crown. So she got 30 points right there. You take her out, and then you got to meet. Then it's 50 to whatever it was, 40 something. Plus she was in relays. So that's the flip side. That's as we were talking about. You just have that one freak athlete that can dominate, and you're stealing. I mean, she got 30 points. Second place was 40 something. You can have one girl get you in the top 3.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It depends on the year. It could swing either way. It's like some years you just got those people that kind of take over the whole meet, and some years you just get teams that just have a lot of athletes that are scoring points here and there.
I mean, I remember a few years ago, there was a pretty cool thing that happened. The state championship in California. They score the all-state meet, and on the girls' side, they won with just one girl. She won 4 events, and they won with 40 points.
Wow!
One girl won the California state meet for the whole team, because race like that, it's so hard to win an event in California.
Of course, yeah.
And there's so many different teams that can make the MOCs because there's so many schools in California. This one girl just dominated all of them, and they ended up winning just off her.
Yeah, last time Maya Doobie, she won all 3 events.
I think that the last time there was, 3 triple crowns and 1 state meet. There was Maya Doobie did it in Division 3. There's 4. Jeffrey Allen did it in Division 3. Jake Winslow did it in Division 1, and Caroline Fisher did it also in Division 1. If I remember correctly. And it's really rare to get a Triple Crown. Triple Crown is winning 3 events in the distance events.
Winslow, was he on the relay team?
I don't remember. I don't think
We
so.
got him 4.
Yeah.
Which relay? The 4x4?
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I mean that's pretty tough because you got athletes that are obviously top in the state in multiple events, but to do it all in one day is pretty impressive. Because you can put up state leading times. It's like you run the 1600 one week, the 32 the next week, but then on state meet day it's like, okay, now go win the 32, the 16, and the 8 all in one day.
You got to be really, really fit.
Right, because some of those other athletes are just running one event. You say, I'm only running the 1600 today, and so, you gotta beat them at the end of the day when they've been, resting in the shade and you've been out on the track racing.
The thing all 4 of them have in common is really good kicks. All
So,
4 of them.
Which
Again-
helps in a state meet.
Yep.
We get Molly Lou McKellar of Newfound, Alina Trempe of Mascoma Valley, Gwen Pelchet of Berlin, Kate Cochran of Kearsarge, Tori Allen of Campbell, and Cassidy Bonsaint in Lane 7, Somersworth.
Tori Allen's in a lot of events. She might be one of those scenarios of
Gets a
in
lot of points.
events gets a lot of points.
Yeah, and she's seeded fastest in this heat with a 19.64.
Oh, 1664.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And she's second overall, so I mean, based off seed, she's 8 points, and if I'm not mistaken, in the javelin, she was seeded 3rd. So there's one of those situations where a girl can be getting a lot of points in a lot of different areas.
It's interesting the hurdle javelin crossover. It's an unusual one.
Yeah, I think you're just a good athlete if you're doing that.
Yeah, just pick an event.
I kind of think Kern should have probably threw the javelin.
Maybe.
You know, the javelin's not that strong this year.
Yeah,
Not
but
like in past years.
There's been some years where there's no shot. That like
No.
the years when there was Jacob Stanko and Camacho and those guys.
But this
Good
year,
luck scoring that.
this year it's not that far. It's only 140 something feet.
Division 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, so those guys were throwing 200 feet.
Okay. All right, and they're off.
Looks like Tori Allen is in first right now.
So he's good company, but it's Tori Allen.
16-7-2 unofficially.
And Kate Cochran of Kearsarge in second.
So it's going to be 16-69 for Tori Allen.
Yeah, so she'll advance automatically through winning the heat. And then the next 6 fastest from both heats make it to the final. So, you know, Cochran with a 17-1-6 should have no problem making it.
Yeah. The next fastest seed after Eliza Bates, who has a 15.94, by the way, the next fastest seed in there is 17.5. So in order to get in, they're going to have to haul pretty much. 17.8 right now is the second fastest time. So the time to beat is 19.48, which I think will most likely be beaten in the next heat.
So we have Eliza Bates in lane 2 from Newport, Bristol Messer, Kearsarge, Farami Edekpolo of Trinity, Rachel Watson of Fall Mountain, Victoria Kelly of Franklin, Lily Richardson of Interlakes. So a bunch of freshmen in there.
Yeah. So looking at, I mean, the results of that last heat plus the seed times, you're probably looking at mid-18s to make it to the final.
Right. That would make sense. So clearly Eliza Bates is the best in this race. Got a dominating lead. So she ran 16:47 right there. So she had the top time, which it doesn't matter on time. It's if you win, you're in.
All right, so we got 2 more under 18.
Right.
3 more under 18, actually.
So I think, let's see, depending on what the next.
Yeah, it should be the
so
top 4 from this heat, plus the top 4 from the last heat, actually,
Right.
I think.
So that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's in theory how you want to draw it up, I guess. 4 and 4.
So Bates took that. Edekpolo from Trinity was next, 17:59. Watson of Fall Mountain, 17:73. Kelly will be the last qualifier out of that heat. Franklin, 17.98.
Yep.
Richardson of Interlake, 19:59. Messer of Kearsarge, 19:80.
So I mean, just look at that. I mean, those are just completely different teams than we had in that 4x8, which tells you that it's not all one team just dominating every event. It's more likely going to be a lower scoring.
I mean,
win.
there'll be teams in the final of this race that weren't even in the 4x8, and then teams that scored in the 4x8 that don't have any athletes in the final here. So,
right. I mean, Hopkinton has nobody. Kearsarge has 2 girls. So it's we're just gonna let it play out, and we'll tell you team scores as they come in and as they matter. I mean, right now they don't really matter. It's so early, and
Yeah, there's too many events to go.
Yeah, you can't just say Hopkinton's going to win this meet based off of one event.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, after the hurdles, I think Kearsarge will probably be in the lead if Cochrane can score some points here.
So we got Sam Bowitt of Wilton Lineborough in lane 2. Grace Hall, Hopkinton. She's in 3. Kate Cochran of Kearsarge, lane 4. Julia Tursky of Stevens in 5. Gabriel Mador of Newmarket's in 6. Zana Rice of Stevens is in. So Sam Bowitt comes in with a top time of 13.04. Same criteria. Top, the winner of each heat, plus the next 6 fastest times.
Yeah, and so 13:04 is pretty good. We'll see if she can break 13. Problem is they're running into the wind right now.
Yeah, just a slight breeze, but it makes a difference.
It was nice for the long jump. It was ripping right at their back.
Okay, and they're off.
It's pretty close.
But it does look like Sam Bowitt will take that from Wilton Linborough.
Looks like she was in cruise control. 13:49 for Bowitt. Cochran of Kearsarge, 13:53. Hall, 13:57. Mador, 14:07. Tursky, 14:22. Rice Stevens, 14:35.
Yeah, this race seems like it's going to be pretty close to get into the final.
Yeah, these times are all pretty tight.
Yeah.
I mean, you got
Imagine that 13.
So we got an
57.
eighth grader in here. So we got Emma Winslow of Belmont, then 2. Alyssa McCarthy of Interlakes, lane 3.
Wow.
Kyla Agabrot of Fall Mountain, then 4. Natalie Portress, 5. Mascoma Valley. Maddox Lovely, the 8th grader from Newport, lane 6. Cheyenne Seymour of Newfound.
That's pretty cool.
So, Lovely's 2 brothers, Ryder Lovely and Jagger Lovely, you will see them tomorrow. They dominate a lot of the sprint events. They're going to score a lot of points for Newport tomorrow when the boys go off.
So Division 3 is the only division that you can have 8th graders run, right?
Right.
And that's come into play before.
Definitely comes into play in cross-country season, I can tell you that.
Yeah. But sprinting's one of those things where age definitely helps you. Getting older, stronger. So to be an 8th grader in a sprinting event is pretty impressive.
So Winslow took that in 13:63. McCarthy of Interlakes, 13:66. Lovely, 13:90. Portress, 14.18. Seymour of Newfound, 14:23. And Igabrot of Fall Mountain, 14:30.
So I think she'll be in. Lovely will probably make the finals with that.
So now we'll put the hurdles back on. We're going to go for the finals and the hurdles. So that 100-meter race should be a pretty good race.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, you have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls within .1.
Yeah, I mean, even just looking at the seating, you had 11 out of the 12 girls were within 9/10.
Wow.
Which, I mean, 9/10 is not a small amount of time in 100 meters, but
No, it's a lot of girls.
still. It's going to be tough. You got some of these girls running hurdles, prelims, then 100 prelims, and then hurdles finals all in a row.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. I mean, Kate Cochran's doing that. That's a name that pops out.
Right.
Kearsarge. She was in the first heat of both of these 100-meter
And
hurdles.
I mean,
and
obviously
100
she's looking to score points, some solid points in both events. So
That's where training has to come in. I mean, you can't just be speed. I mean, that right there pulls in some endurance. You got to have some endurance to do that, pull that off.
yeah, and I mean some athletes are better at that than others. You have some people that can just perform at like 99% just all day long.
Yeah.
Obviously you're not going to be running 100%
Select few.
like every event, but and then some people it's like they run one event and that's kind of it.
Yeah. It's true how that happened, and it's like that's where talent comes into play. It's a big talent thing, and ability is huge to be able to pull that off.
Finals of the 100-meter hurdles taking place at 5:30.
Wow, that's a difference maker. Gandini. Isn't he in 3 events? So is they're just running through it tomorrow. Landon's just in the 800. No, I don't think so. That's what he was saying. I have him here somewhere. I think it's in Hungary. Oh, that's all girls right there.
Well, that ain't going to be in that one.
You did the Triple Crown, didn't you? Sheesh. Jeffrey Allen, Triple Crown. How many points did you score that day? Did you do a relay?
I did the relay. I don't know if we scored though. I walked a lot. I walked my body, I guess. I was dead.
I don't see him in the 3200.
Who's this?
Landon Valancourt.
Juan Luis Montoya, please come to the awards area or the announcer stand at the far end of the track. Juan Luis Montoya, please.
Yeah, and he's not in the mile either. All right.
Gandini's got his number now. That's why.
Looking pretty good.
So we have that much down to just.
right, so we're back with the 100-meter hurdle finals. In this heat, we have Victoria Kelly of Franklin, Rachel Watson of Fall Mountain, Kate Cochran, Kearsarge, the favorite, Eliza Bates of Newport, Tori Allen of Campbell, Farami Adakpolo of Trinity, Molly Lou Meckler of Newfound Regional, and Gwen Pelchat of Berlin. So Eliza Bates is the only one in this heat to break 16 seconds. But in the prelims, her time of 16:47 was very close to the time Tori Allen put up of 16:69, so it should be relatively close.
Yeah, I think this should be a good race.
But anything can happen in the hurdles. Remember when we saw Billy Powers a few years ago in the division championships come up with a goose egg, and then the following week he ripped everybody. Yeah, his junior year, I believe it was.
Yeah, and he was an All-American, wasn't he? So yeah, I mean, there you go.
State record holder.
He was about as dominant as it came.
So, like I say, anything can happen in the hurdles.
When you get DQ'd, you clip a hurdle weird,
Right.
fall over.
Yeah.
Yeah, false starting happens all the time.
And you know, you take his times. He was a stud of studs.
Yeah, he was so good.
And he wasn't a big athlete either.
No, he was small. He was really small. And he's at Cornell now, isn't he? Right?
Yep.
Problem with that college hurdles is so much higher that you want to be a tall guy. Like, that's when it really comes into play, that his height becomes a disadvantage. But no, he's the best New Hampshire hurdler we've ever had. So there you go. I mean, that says all you got to say. Who was the guy before? Was it
McFadden, I believe.
Demal McFadden? He went to UNH. But, yeah, I mean, the state record holder.
New Hampshire's had some pretty good hurdlers over the years.
Yes, they're just getting settled in right now. Starter just gave them some last-minute commands, and he's getting ready right now, so this race should be going off within the minute.
Guns up.
So the lanes to watch here are 4 and 5, as always. Eliza Bates and Tori Allen, those are the 1 and 2. And third, we should mention, is Kate Cochran of Kearsarge, 17-16. This is right here, her third race. So they're off right here. Let's see how they get over the hurdles. Eliza Bates is first over the hurdles right now, followed by Tori Allen.
Tori's giving her a race.
Up.
Tori Allen.
No, it's going to be Eliza Bates.
Eliza Bates.
Yeah, Tori just clipped the second to last hurdle, lost a little bit.
So it's Eliza Bates 16-13, Tori Allen 16-34.
That was a great race.
And then after that we have Kate Cochran 17-38, Molly Lou McKellar 17-40, Farami Adakpolo 17-73, and sixth place is Rachel Watson 17-92. Rounds out the scores. Yes, that was a great race.
So now we have the finals of the girls' 100 meters.
Race number 4 for Cochran.
Yeah, so what does Cochran do? Just run down there and get ready to go at it again?
At least she got a little break in between the prelims and the finals.
Yeah. So that's 6 points right there for Kearsarge. I think I'm feeling my early favorite is Kearsarge to win this.
So who do we got in the 100 meters?
So the 100 meters, we got In lane 1, Gabrielle Madore of Newmarket, Alyssa McCarthy of Interlakes, Kate Cochran, as we just mentioned, of Kearsarge, Sam Bowett of Wilton Lydenborough, she's the favorite, Emma Winslow of Belmont, Grace Hall of Hopkinton, Maddox Lovely, the 8th grader from Newport, Natalie Poitras of Mascoma Valleys in lane 8 to round out the finals.
I'm a little surprised Cochran's the only girl running hurdles and 100-meter. Usually you got, a lot of athletes that run both those events, but she's the only one that is in both finals.
Yeah, it doesn't seem easy at all. I can see why I wouldn't want to do it, but
Already scooped up some good points in the hurdles.
yeah, so I think Kearsarge should be. But you got to factor in the field events too.
Yeah.
You don't know how that happened.
Right, but with running events, Kearsarge's ahead. But only after
By
2 events.
4 points, like nothing.
You guys calling it already? Like the
Yeah.
election?
I'm
Yeah, I
gonna.
think that's
You know what? I'm gonna call it after 14 points.
Yeah.
Kearsarge is gonna win this.
2 events down.
I will call
I think
it.
they got it
Cool,
sewn up.
Kearsarge.
and I'll allow that to come back to haunt me. But you know what?
Do we get
At least I'll be the
to
first person to say it.
do we get to call like the commentator's curse?
Yeah.
Do we jinx people?
Or is it the commentator's blessing? And I think
Right.
this year it's going to be the commentator's blessing.
Okay.
So congratulations, Kearsarge, 2021 state champions,
official.
Division 3. Official.
You heard it
The
here.
Forrest McKenzie guarantee.
Well, congratulations to Bates of Newport,
Yeah, that's a good time.
2021 champion.
She was very good over the hurdles. She was definitely the best.
Was
in that.
Tori Allen leading at one point?
No,
Never.
no.
Pretty close. It looked like they went over almost even. Maybe 2/3 of the way through.
She was coming up for
Yeah,
sure, and
yeah.
then she clipped.
Second to last hurdle.
Yep, exactly. She clipped it not a typical clip where you can kind of just push it down. She kind of hit it with the.
Yeah, it threw her
ball of
off
her
a little
foot.
bit.
Yeah, it did. Definitely did.
I think Bates still had it, but it could have been closer. They were 2/10 apart. So
So
this
yeah.
Sam Bowett's a slight favorite here coming into this race, but this could be a good race.
Yeah, you have, and this is 13 point. I'll read it. 49, 53, 57, 63, 66, all within. So 5 girls right there. So expect this to be a really tight race. We're looking lane 4. It looks like that's your favorite, Sam Bowett. Oh, I don't know.
A squeaker. Looked like Bowett to me.
But it looked like Alyssa McCarthy might have squeaked in there. Bowett. It is Bowett. 13:58. McCarthy of Interlakes 13:64. Winslow of Belmont 13:67. Hall of Hopkinton
it was a
13:69.
close race.
Lovely at Newport 13:72. Cochran of Kearsarge 13:81 to round out your scores. So look at that right there.
That'll probably be the closest race of the day.
That it's tough to make that closer at any of the state meets.
Yeah. 100-meter always looks pretty close, but that was a close race.
Yeah. When you're under a 1/10 of a second away from being the state champion, that's close. That's for sure.
Yeah, close. a 10th off of state champion was 4th.
That's pretty crazy, actually. So good for the 8th grader. Lovely. Newport, 5th place, 8th grader. She's probably the fastest girl in her school. Something tells me that.
I hope so. You're running 13.8 and
look at that. That's another
13.7 actually.
champion, Wilton Lydenborough, that wasn't in any of the other events. So there's another 10 points. In Interlakes, we didn't see them. Belmont, we didn't see them. Hopkinton, we've seen, but Newport just got another one. Kearsarge scores another point.
So pretty spread out.
Kearsarge, one more point to the effort of winning the state championship today. It will matter.
So 1600's coming up next. Should be a great event. Got a heavy favorite here, Liza Corso.
Yeah, she's as consistent a runner as anybody in the entire state, boy or girl, in my opinion. I mean, she's been good from the start, and I've never seen her have the bad race. And I really hope I didn't just jinx her, but
I thought it was the blessing. What happened?
It's a blessing. It is a blessing, and congratulations, Liza, because I just gave you a blessing. But no, she is as consistent a runner as I've seen in a while. Not afraid of the moment. So is Brianna Malone not in the mile?
She's not in the mile, no.
Is she doing the 800?
Yep. Probably the 400, 800.
Tough double. That is a tough double. Now that 800 record is so good.
What is it?
Well, Hannah Parker's 216, but
Anna Harmon, 217.
206. My bad. Sorry.
217 is in her wheelhouse. I think she's run 218. So
She's Liza's in the
right.
802 at 217. So there's a state record that could go down.
Yep.
And Anna Harmon is a legit person to
Yeah.
break the state record. I mean, she is.
She was pretty fast.
That was that year that New Hampshire was one of the best in the entire country.
Yeah, but that's actually a slow time for her because I think she ended up going around.
I think she broke 210, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she was a 209.
Yeah, that was the race at New England's when it was Salas, her, Schofield,
Parker.
Yeah, they were all like 208, 209.
Right, yeah.
Schofield ended up being the best out of all of them.
Yeah.
Went on
Yeah,
to
that was
201,
a
202 range.
crazy race, like at New England's, and it was like all New Hampshire in the 800.
Yeah, I mean that was a year you had 4 girls that were some of the best in the nation from New Hampshire. I mean, you don't typically think about New Hampshire as
Hannah Parker
powerhouse.
put up her best ever is 206.
She's a
second
state
in the
record.
I'm
country.
looking at this. This says 2018 for that record, but
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking
It
about.
was 15, I think.
I was thinking about it, I'm like, there's no way after I said that Hannah Parker was in those races.
I think it was 15.
All right, so in this race we got Liza Corso coming as a top seed with a 5:06.81. Hannah Bennett comes in next with a 5:23. She's from Hopkinton. Then you got Catherine Stowe of Guilford, Katie Palmeter of Bishop Brady, Lily Bear of Kearsarge, Megan Whitnell of Campbell, Catherine Gage of Deeryfield, Kylie Aho of Conant, Veronica Dowd of Prospect Mountain, Emma Shamloffel of Messinic, Marlier Richer of Kearsarge, and Kylan Frankenwich of Kearsarge.
Gotta say, it felt weird hearing you say Dairyfield,
Oh, Deeryfield.
being from Deerfield. And when everybody ever says Dairyfield, it's just weird to hear you say it. So we see Liza Corso wearing bid number 6. She's wearing the hat. She's the heavy favorite, as we mentioned. Comes into time with 5:06. So the state record here is 4:57.
It's pretty quick.
J.C. Christensen. She from the Christensen family?
Yep.
Job and all them?
Yep.
It's a really good running family right there.
Another 11-year-old record.
Yeah, so 2010 had a lot of... That was a good year for the Division III meet.
Yeah, a lot of records from around that time.
Interesting, the same year there was a 4:47. Wonder if that's true. Because the 2018, the Hannah Parker one was wrong.
Ariana Velas, she was tough.
She's also 2010, is that legit?
I believe it is.
So we see it's still packed up, and I'm wondering right away, is Liza Corso doing the old sit and kick, save your energy, go try to get a state record?
You'd have to imagine
in
at
the
this
800.
point. You know, she's such a favorite that, you know, if she's not already, 25 meters ahead at this point, then I think she's hanging out for a little bit.
Comes down to what we were saying earlier with the 4x8. If you're not going to go get that state record and you have a chance to win other events, you might as well just win by a second. Because as you said, 1 second versus 20 seconds is still 10 points.
And they're going to score some points because Brianna Malone's is gonna scoop up a bunch.
All right, and so, I mean, she's in the 800 and the 32, so.
Liza Corzo is?
Yep.
Right,
So
she
Katie
has
Palmeter was leading that through the 400,
her
followed by
800
Corso.
seed is faster than the Division III state record. So I wonder if she's eyeing that record or is she eyeing the Triple Crown?
She's entered in the 4x4 too.
Wow. So maybe the team title. Maybe my premature call of Kearsarge winning.
Well, I thought
They're going to score a good
Portsmouth
amount
Christians
of
was going to
points.
score a lot of points.
They for sure are. The dynamic duo of
Yeah, I mean,
of
just
Brianna
those
Malone
two.
and Liza Corzo is the best in Division III by
Just
far.
those two is going to get 60 points.
Yeah, easily.
And we already said 60 points might win it for you.
Or close to 60.
They're
I
going
mean,
to
you
get
think you're probably going to win.
they're going to get at least 50.
Yeah, you're thinking
sure.
10 in the 16, probably more than 10 in the 8.
Yeah, there'll be 18 there they'll probably get.
So that's already almost 30.
A lot of math going into this job. I didn't expect this. All right, so they're coming through 800 in 240, which is actually pretty fast.
So Hannah Bennett took the lead there.
It's not like it's pedestrian. I mean, they're going pretty quick. They're faster than everybody else's PR except for Liza Corzo at this point. So maybe it's more the other girls are taking it to her.
Yeah.
So you got Hannah Bennett, Liza Corso, Palmeter, Lily Bear, I believe.
I mean, Bennett's the only one that's run that pace that they ran through the 800. So.
Schedule's killing him. Used to go.
Still pretty tight, though. You got 6 girls right up there.
Yeah, those are your scorers.
Yeah, they've separated, so.
Looks like the pace is slowed down.
Watch Corso rip this last one.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, she did. She looks pretty relaxed.
She did this last week or a few weeks ago against one of the mini meets, and it was like she had so much left in the 3200.
There it is. She just went outside.
Yeah, but if I'm her, I'm just waiting, sticking around until 100 to go. You're about to hear the bell.
Yeah. So that was what they went through in like 4:04, 4:05.
Yeah, so they'll probably run 5:20, something like that. Maybe
And
sub.
close in a 75, which is obviously completely doable for her. That's
Yeah, she's got that all day.
This is closer than you think. Palmeter's back there in third place. She looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the big heavy move from Liza.
Yeah, I mean
I think
that's the
this
thing.
was a
You don't
really
want
smart
to.
race for her.
You don't want to be too chill about that last
No.
lap.
I'm not so sure.
You got some people with some
Nope,
good middle
done.
distance speed.
It's over. Looking back in third, just looking back, it's already been settled. In a moment like this, you gotta be looking forward. Catch her stumbling, because she's such a heavy favorite that you gotta kind of wish she has an off day.
She's coming pretty wide, too. She ain't going to let anybody come up through. There's Liza.
So it's actually like a 73 last lap.
Yeah, pretty quick. And
Liza
Hannah
Corzo's the
Bennett
champion.
second. And Palmeter with third.
Stove Guilford fourth and 5:24.77. Bear Kearsarge 5:25.84, so she picks up some points. Whitnell Campbell with 6. So those are your scorers. So she played it right.
Yeah,
Definitely. I mean,
that's a
she didn't
smart
use
race.
anything more than she needed to, which is what you want.
I mean, as I was saying before, she's just so consistent. Like, preying on her having a bad day is
Not a good bet.
nope. It's not. It's just not. I mean, she's one of the best bets in all of New Hampshire running.
The only
right
race
now.
I remember having a bad one was it Meet of Champions? In cross country?
I don't remember having.
No, Meet of Champions cross country. I think she DNF'd.
Yeah, that did happen.
That was it.
There were some issues with the course. Like, I think she went the wrong way or something.
Oh yeah, I remember she lost the race, kind of going wide or something. Teammate got her. Yeah, her teammate got her because they were in different
No, it was.
There were
it
different
was
heats.
Different. Yeah, it was different waves.
waves. Yeah.
Brianna Malone, right?
Yep.
And so, yeah, that was that. Right. So that was one of the most peculiar happenings in all of cross country state meets I've ever seen. That the girl who gets second wins the race because she was 10 seconds back on the wave start and she lost by 8 seconds. So she actually won by
Right.
2 seconds.
And that's something that's tough. Like if you're in that first spot, you know, like how do you know how close the person behind you is?
I mean, it was just one of those things where we were watching it like, oh, because I remember Liza kind of slowed up, like
She didn't take a perfectly straight line either.
No.
You remember it was kind of wavy.
Yeah, but it was one of those things where, you know, does she realize that she's 10 seconds back? Like it was a
How
tough
do you
thing to
know?
watch because we were watching it like, oh no, she just but. It's one thing if you lose to a rival, and it's another thing if you lose to your teammate. You know, I'm sure that was her. If she could pick anybody that could beat her, it'd probably be her teammate.
But all in all, she's had a pretty good career for 4 years.
Oh yeah,
I mean, she's
dominant.
I mean, no one's dominated Division III like she has for this many years.
And it feels like that too. And she didn't have a track season last year. Like there was
Right.
no track season.
No, and she had Maya Doobie in front of her the whole way. So that
Yeah.
kind of hurt it. That kind of hurt her. But in a way, it helped her too.
Maya Doobie, of
But
course,
she would have been a
being New England champion.
Yeah, she would have been a champion last year and this year.
She has a lot of seconds because of Maya Doobie, but she's bided her time, and now she's the 1,600 meter champion. So congratulations, Liza Corzo.
I'm trying to think. Is that the first track championship?
Must be because Maya Doobie triple crowned last
Right.
year. Well,
And
2 years ago.
and there was no track season last year.
So I think that's her first outdoor championship.
Right.
As he said, she's got a bunch of seconds, but and second to. It's not like you're losing to a slouch. Maya Doobie, let's be honest, was a
New
New
England
England champion.
So
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
in this one, we got the 4x100 relay. We're looking at we got Newfound, Newport, Kearsarge, Hopkinton, Campbell, Belmont, Stevens, and Newmarket.
Yes, we got
Cochrane's back.
2 sections. I know what this is
This girl's
race number
just
5.
Tough.
I mean, that's the thing is like
She wants it.
You know, you're
Kearsarge wants it.
you're not doing 5 different events, but she's already raced 5 times.
Yeah. I
So who we got in this heat right here? We got Stevens, Campbell, Belmont, and Newmarket, and
I think there's only 8.
Campbell comes in with the best time.
So they're doing 4 and 4. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
So 4 and 4, right?
Campbell actually has 6 girls entered in this, so I mean, looks like they got some depth to pick whoever they want.
Right.
With the fastest time in the section too. That's a big help. You
look
know,
at
if
the-
you're going for the state title, it's like if you got the depth to kind of pick whoever you want in a race, dependent, that day.
That's true. That's a good
Because,
point.
depending on how people feel or if people are running multiple events.
So look at this. Not in this heat, but the overall in the second heat. The top seed's time is 53.94. The second seed's time is also 53.94. So after we just had that really tight 100 meters, makes sense that we go into the 4x1 and the 1 and 2 seed have the exact same time from two different meets. So this should be very exciting.
And also, obviously, with it being 4 and 4, you're going to have, at least two teams scoring in this heat.
Yep.
If not more.
Yeah, it has to be. When usually it's 6 and 6, and there doesn't have to be. Usually there's no scores, or maybe one out of the first heat.
Yeah, like the top teams in the first heat might beat out some of the slower teams in the second heat, but with it being 4 and 4, you're racing for points right here against everyone in this heat. It's not even like time versus the second heat.
So starter just head on your mark, so we're getting going here. The best time in here is 54.98, so they're going to be hoping to break 55, and that is Campbell. And the second best is 55.04, so it's really tight between Campbell and Belmont. Now you don't know if all of the runners that ran that 54.98 and 55.04 are actually running today, because that just comes into strategy.
Yeah, that's the thing about relays is, like, you can have times entered, but on state meet day, it could be a completely different team.
Looks like there's a big lead right there. I think is that Belmont? A lot of black
Looks
and
like
red
the
jerseys.
second two teams, the batons slowed down a little bit, come through the zone.
I think it's Belmont. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
Belmont having a huge lead.
Yeah, they had a nice smooth handoff that last handoff.
And so they're going to try to run something that can get them scoring. They're running very fast.
Hello,
54.24. So 54.24, they improved by almost a second to win that heat. So they're definitely going to score.
Let's get the
But
results.
The question
We got
is how high?
54-24, 55-24 for Belmont and Newmarket. So, yeah, I mean, they at least got 2 points.
Right.
And maybe more, depending on how the second section goes.
I think they will get. I mean, that time right there, based on the seeds, would get them third, which is 6 points.
Yeah, and I mean, like, especially in the 4x1, it's like the handoffs can make such a big difference that,
Right.
if someone has a bad handoff, it's like, they hand off out of the zone, drop the baton, or just have a slow handoff, and you're right up on the podium.
Yeah. That was pretty good. I mean, their second leg was phenomenal. They got a humongous lead after the second leg. So, and that's a strategy I've been noticing over the past couple of years. You put your best girl second. I don't know if that's what they did there, but that's what it looked like. Because I remember in Concord, Grace Devaney always went second, which was an interesting strategy, but that's just how they did it. They just got a big lead and kept it after the second leg.
A little different philosophy from, like the 4x8 strategy we saw earlier.
You basically always put your fastest first or last. But that's what I always thought with the 4x1, but it's been different. So it looks like it's close after the first one. Newfound and Hopkinton are really close. So we're looking at Newfound and Newport. Those are the two teams that have the same time.
Yeah, Hopkinton doing pretty well.
You got to check the handoffs. Who gets it first? That's how you tell. It's actually really close right now. Newfound takes a lead, it looks like. but maybe Newport with it. Those are the two teams we talked about. Newfound and Newport.
Good handoffs.
So right now it's Newport or Newfound, followed by Newport, but it looks like Newport's coming up on the side.
Coming hard.
Wow.
It's gonna be Newport winning this.
Smoke show there.
52-9.
She just got off winning the 100.
Nice
She's the
to have-
100-meter hurdle winner?
Eliza Bates.
Yeah, that's who that is, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So Newport's on their way.
I'd also like to point out Newport has 3 8th graders
What? Really?
entered in the 4x1. So I'm not sure if they all ran because they have 5 girls entered. But that's pretty crazy.
Belmont's going to get third from the slow heat. So that's big points right there. So yeah, Newport 52-9, Newfound 53-5-2, Hopkinton 54-6, Kearsarge 54-88. And yeah, that's other than Belmont, I'm pretty sure that's 1, 2.
So
4,
Campbell
5.
gets third.
So Newport's putting up some points.
Yeah. They have some good sprinting over there.
I can't believe. I mean, you were saying earlier, like, in sprinting usually you don't see, the younger athletes as much. But like Newport had 2, if not 3, 8th graders in that race, and they just won a state championship.
In sprinting.
That's pretty nice. You come into high school as a freshman, you already got a state championship under your belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There's some bragging rights.
That'll help your confidence.
I wonder
the
if they
first
also
day.
compete in middle school track. Are you allowed to do both?
Don't know.
What's the rule there?
Not sure.
The difference between middle school track and high school track is very different.
It's big time.
I mean, middle school cross country is pretty well developed in New Hampshire. Like, it's one of the biggest state meets in the country.
It's a big
But-
state meet.
It's a huge.
But it's totally different in track. It's just this is really the beginning
Yeah.
stages in track.
It is. There's a big disconnect there. And maybe it's because you have baseball, softball, all the other sports, and
I mean, I
and
think
also,
track
do you really
also
want to run
just
your kid all 3 years when they're 12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can get burned out.
Yeah, but I mean, I think track also is just like it takes longer to develop. Like, are you gonna have like, a 7th, 8th grader who's only got like, a year or 2 experience doing some like technical events, something like,
Yeah.
Like
That's
shot
true,
put
that's true.
or like hurdles or something,
They haven't even hit puberty. They don't even know if they're going to be good or not. Like,
Right.
That's a huge part.
Right,
of-
and it's
of
like
those events.
cross country is, it's like you run.
Yeah, it's a.
But,
it's a lot different. You kind of know.
And also just from the training standpoint, I think it's a little easier to get 10-year-olds to just go run for a few
Right.
miles than to get them to focus on the technical aspects of track events.
Yeah, that's true, and especially the other thing you got to think is like attention span and all that stuff. Like the difference between high school and even college track and field versus like I'll say the discipline in those meets versus when you're in middle school and you're just like it's social hour. You know what I mean? It's so different. But in cross country, it's way.
Yeah, I
easier
mean,
to-
even just the things that you're focusing on. Once you get to those higher levels, say like in college, it's like, you're trying to improve by changing the smallest little details.
What time do you go to sleep? What are you eating before? Like, what's your nutrition? All that stuff. You think a 7th grader is caring about their nutrition? No, they're probably eating cosmic brownies and those oatmeal, cream pies, and all those stuff.
Some nice Capri Suns. Those are.
Oh. But I mean, it's just what happens. You get better and better, and it just gets more minute details.
Yeah, I mean, that's like you.
That's what you expect.
You can't be like forcing 10-year-olds to just have their life be.
No, and that's the
Track.
point. Is they will burn out if that's what happens. Like a 10-year-old who's phenomenal, winning all the national championships. You know, like I did USATF growing up and stuff like for cross country. But the 10-year-olds then that were winning all the national championships are doing nothing now.
All right, so in this section 1 of the 400, we got Rachel Halderman, lane 1 from Kearsarge, Brooke Sullivan of Campbell, Lainey Holmbo of Conant, Taylor Fellows of Newport, an 8th grader, Soraya Glidden of Newfound, and Aiden Malloy of Laconia.
It's a close heat.
Yeah, pretty
all
ranges.
6 girls within a second. So I think probably the top girls in this heat are looking to scoop up a point or two if they can. Some fast times in the second section, but
The meet record is 57.14. Carolyn Maynard. Grace Devaney's got the state record for overall 55.42.
57 is legit. But Brianna Malone's a 59.
not too far off.
No, she's only a sophomore. So Newport's looking to get some points here.
Newport's putting together a pretty good rap sheet to win.
Yeah, I mean they have 2 girls entered in the 400. They're both 8th graders.
3 girls, right? Oh, just 2 girls. 2 girls.
But yeah, I mean in a couple years, like they're gonna have a lot of top girls. I mean they already do have a lot of top girls, and they're in middle school. Got a big lead here. Outside lane.
Looks like lane 3 and lane 7.
Looks like the snipers are ready, though.
Faded a
Lane
little
3
bit.
3 and 6. 3 and 6.
Looks like 6.
Might still get it.
I think lane 6.
Yeah,
Aiden
she held
Malloy.
on.
Oh! Shoot. She just made it.
Snipers ready. At the 400 is just a tough, brutal event.
So what'd she put up? She put a good time.
65, I think.
64?
64, maybe?
Yeah, 64-17.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, that's a great time.
Hey, made it over the line before she fell over. That's all that
That
matters.
was Malloy, right? She PR'd by 2 seconds. Almost 2.5 seconds. That's really great. She definitely gave it her all.
Of course, you knew all about that.
Yeah, what, falling at the line?
Yeah.
I fell before the line.
Okay, in this next heat, we got Desaya
still won it,
of
didn't you?
Campbell, Holly Furman of Newmarket, Kaylee Stockwell of Hopkinton, Brianna Malone of Portsmouth Christian, Liliana Churcharella of Monadnock, and Maddox Lovely of Newport. So, Brianna Malone's probably just going to try to run the win.
Right.
And then try to really rip it in the 800, I would think.
Because the 400-800 double is so difficult.
She's favored by 2 seconds here. But you can't fall asleep either.
No, not in the 400. It's too aggressive.
Yeah, 400's a little hard race to sit and kick in.
But boy, she does have some good finishing speed.
She can fly. I mean, she's your cross-country Division III state champion who's running the 400 meters. So this girl's got range. Three runners, half and half. Half run blocks, half aren't. Rough.
Interesting, Malone's not in blocks.
Yeah, as he said, I think she's just going to win and then
I mean, as a
try to win that 800.
cross-country and long-distance runner, she probably doesn't have too much block experience.
Yeah, I mean, She doesn't need it, I don't think.
Oh, but she is smooth.
Yeah, she's fast. She's one of those runners that, she's not huge on like long. Her stride's not very long, but she's some of the fastest turnover in the state.
Yeah.
The way she can get her feet on the ground. And look how fast she's turning them over.
Nice form. So Brianna Malone is going to take this. She's going to be your 400-meter state champion.
Pretty easily. Quick,
She's
too.
gonna run very fast.
That's fast. 9.2.
That's a PR for her, I think. Yeah, by .2.
So she was going for it.
Yeah, 59.23. Good race from
Churcharella,
A great race.
Chirichella from Monadnock is 60.87. Lovely of Newport, the 8th grader, 101.80. Got another third place. Stockwell, Poppington, 103.30. Furman of Newmarket, 104.42. Calm of Campbell, 105.02. So
man, that's
Newport added some
impressive
more,
from,
6 more points.
from Lovely running 61 in 8th grade.
Double battery. Yeah. Pretty good. Mine on? All right, here we go. 300-meter hurdles. So who we got in this one?
Madeline Prack of Kearsarge, Sierra Lignus of Portsmouth Christian, Bristol Messer of Kearsarge, Becca Pinsence of Somersworth, Stacia Paul of Newfound, and Julia Perry of Newmarket. Top seed is Becca Pinsence, Somersworth, 52.79 in this heat.
Yeah, we also have Sierra Lignos, Portsmouth Christian, Madeline Prack of Kearsarge. I think it cuts off on that list.
What?
Oh, you're just reading the first heat?
Yeah.
So they're off right now.
So pinch and inch.
So it looks like you're gonna see another Eliza Bates Tori Allen battle in the other heat. So looks like, let's see who comes over the hurdle first.
So
Really
it's pinch
tight.
inch right now.
We'll see who's got the momentum coming in the end.
Oh, it's
now
changing
changed.
now. Soraya Glidden just took the lead. She's going to take this going away. Nice time, 52.66.
270 officially. And Pinsent in second, Prack in third.
So section 2, we got Abigail Shagina of Bishop Brady. Fermi Edic Polo of Trinity. Autumn Braley of Newfound Regional. Liza Bates of Newport. Tori Allen of Campbell. Gwen Pelchat of Berlin.
A lot of familiar names there. So I don't think anyone in here is fresh. Maybe Abigail.
So Bates is looking to get some more points here.
I tell you what, Newport's making a good case to win this whole thing.
See if Tori Allen can.
Eliza Bates is a 1 second favorite,
Yep.
which, you know, doesn't sound a lot, but a second in a race like this is a good amount. She was also a second favorite. The other one just ended up pretty quick, so we'll see how this can happen. She also did the 4x1 too, though, so we'll see. See how it ends up.
So Bates has got the
She's-
early lead.
Yep, she's over the hurdle first. She's got probably about a half a second lead.
So Bates and Allen.
Lead staying the same. Leads growing a little bit.
Bates has come to win today.
Yep. She's very smooth over those hurdles.
Like nothing.
Eliza Bates is going to be the 300-meter champion in 47.7. She's a PR by a second there.
So Bates 47.72. Allen of Campbell 49.44. Braley of Newfound 51.44. Pelchat of Berlin 51.51. Shagina of Bishop Brady 51.64. Edic Polo of Trinity 52.81. So Bates just got some more points for the Newport Tigers.
We don't have a team score right now, but I mean Newport's got to be at first right now. Seems like that. So maybe my Kearsarge call was when they had 14 points was maybe just a little early. But I think, you know,
We've gotten good points in the last couple of events.
your mic on?
Like a trainer to the finish line area,
No.
please. Our trainer,
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
you can report to the finish line area, please.
So this will be one of the marquee races coming up here, the 800 also.
Yeah. It's the first
record-
event where we think the
A
state,
state record
go
could be
down.
challenged.
Come to the finish line area.
So the state record is 2:17.02. The fastest seed time here is Liza Corzo, who we just saw win the 1600 at 2:17.00. So her seed time is 0.02 seconds faster than the meet record time. So, so it is possible. And not to forget Brianna Malone, who's 2:18, so they're right there. So, and the two of them are teammates for Portsmouth the Christian. Brianna Malone, of course, just won the 400 meters going away.
So we got some results in the girls' long jump. Mayna Bowman of Newfound took first place with a 15-foot jump, 15.3 1/4. Abigail Shagina of Bishop Brady was second, 15 1.5. Sarah Harris of Interlakes, 15 1.25, was third. Sarah Dubois of Maltonborough, 14 9.5. Sophia Bruzitz of Fall Mountain was fifth in 14 7.75. And Trinity's Allie Norwish was sixth in 14 350, 3.5. Results in the girls' pole vault: Abby Friedman of White Mountains, 8 feet. Ruby Frithson of Fall Mountain was 7.6. Greta Achenbach of Interlakes was 7.6. And Rachel Watson of Fall Mountain was 7.6. All three of those girls came in. Actually, Margaret Bednez of Newfound was 7.6. So we have
Four-way tie?
four-way tie for second place.
Five-way.
300-meter hurdle.
Really? So what are
The
they,
next girl is
0.2?
also 7.6.
Place.
Yep.
First jump, Paul.
But she gets 7.6 in sixth place,
In fifth place,
probably on attempts.
Yep.
Nikki Monexelos was 7.6.
Oh, it went back to
third place, Autumn Braley.
7-foot attempts because they all got over 7.6 first attempt, and none of them got over 8 feet. But then the girl who came in 6th, which is Nikki Monestelos, missed her first 7-foot jump. Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yep. Girls javelin results. Isabel Bushway of Fall Mountain, 105 feet. Anya Cunningham of Raymond, 99.3 for second place. Bailey Fairbanks of Newfound Regional, 99.1 for third place. Elise Miner of Hopkinton, 99 flat for fourth. Jessie Carney of Hopkinton, 98.10. And Tori Allen of Campbell was 98.2.
And that was another type battle. Second through sixth, they were only 1 foot apart.
Girls shot put results. Opal Schillinger of Mascomer Valley comes in first in 36 7.25. Paulina Huckins of Newfound Regional, 35 11 3/4. Third place, Erin Wheeler of Kearsarge, 31 10 3/4. Lena Nicholson of Newmarket, 31 6 for fourth place. Molly Lou McAleer of Newfound is 30 feet 8 1/4, and Molly Sautic of Belmont, 29-10. So we're seeing a lot of points from other teams there, but so it is all over the place. We're trying to figure out who might be leading here, but it's still anybody's game, and it's still early.
So here we go. The first heat, the girls 800-meter run. In this one, we have Kylie Aho of Conant, Amelia Lefebvre, like Favre, Lefebvre of Kearsarge, Kendall Reynolds of Campbell, Molly Ellison of Kearsarge, Alana Poehler of Interlakes, Adrian Kennedy of Conant. So the favorite in this one is Molly Ellison, Kearsarge. She'll be in lane 4.
She could grab some points.
Yep. So this one, you're not guaranteed points in this heat because it's 6 and 6.
No, but she's only 9/10 off of the number 6 in the second heat. So
Yeah, very close. So, and she has the best time in here by 7 seconds, so she should be.
She has to rip it.
yeah, I mean she's aiming for the second heat girls.
See if she can get herself on the podium. Well, 3, 4, 5 are very close. 1 and 2 are far and away the best.
Portsmouth Christian has 3 girls in the second section.
Which of the Christians legit? I mean, they were 1 girl away from smashing the D3 record in the 4x8. Ella Malone, who was injured. But that's probably a blessing in disguise, because now they can go after the 800 state record.
Adrian Kennedy on the track.
Good, how are you? So we just got word that the bell will be ring very loud this time.
So get ready.
So Molly Ellison, she can't really dilly-dally around. She needs to get out there and run what she's seeded, because
Right.
if she wants to place, she can't be hanging around the rest of these girls. She needs to go
Right.
out there and make her own way.
You're not trying to go for the win in this race.
Looks like she is. I'll tell you what, she is smooth.
I believe she's only a freshman, too.
Yep.
Yeah, she's smooth runner.
It's 4 freshmen in this heat and 2 sophomores.
Wow.
Young heat.
I mean, that's what it should be in this in the fast heat. I mean, the slow heat. There's the bell. A little lackluster bell. Could have been louder.
Doing 71. It's pretty fast to the 400.
Yeah.
2:22 pace, which is 10 seconds faster.
She
than
has to do. Especially on the off chance that Brianna Malone and Liza Corzo kind of just go for the win, which I don't think they're going to go. I think they're going to hammer it. But let's say they make it slow race, 225 wins it, or something like that. They slow it down when they're capable of going much faster. There's always a situation where the slow heat can win it.
Yeah.
And with Liza Corzo's luck, as we saw in cross country, it could happen.
So, looks like it'll be probably under 230. Be close.
Yeah, she ran well. I mean, she came in and she ran what she was pretty much seated at.
Yeah.
Almost exactly.
231.09.
She was seated at 331. No, 93. So she improved about a second.
So we'll see how that compares to the second heat, because that, you got to keep an eye on that. That could score points.
We said some low-flying ducks. Did you hear them?
Yeah, there's a bunch of ducks over here.
Near the lakes.
Okay, in this heat, we got Liza Corso of Portsmouth Christian, Brianna Malone of Portsmouth Christian, Anna O'Reilly of Hopkinton, Isabel Patoni of Newmarket, Catherine Stowe of Guilford, Lily Yendel of Portsmouth Christian. So we got a 217, a 218. So the state record's
tight,
217. So we're going to see. We want to see who lays it down.
Yeah,
This
we're
could be the
looking,
state record.
Lane 1 and 2 is Liza in lane 1 and Brianna in lane 2.
Two teammates
This could be something special right here.
switching off all the time. A revenge of cross country. Let's see who can get it.
I mean, they have, 7 seconds over number 3
Yeah,
girl.
they're by far the best. So that's what we want to see. We really want to see them get after it and try to, get a state record.
Yeah, which is doable. Liza's seeded faster, so.
After a year like last year when they didn't have a track season, I mean, I'd be trying to go out and kill it. So we
Could
should
both
know
go
right
under it.
away.
All right, Liza going right after it.
Kind of sagging a little bit.
Brianna Malone's kind of just sitting off the pace big time.
Yeah, Liza going out hard. Brianna's in the back.
Brianna's going to sit and kill, I think.
Yeah, I think she might just be banking on Liza going out too hard.
Yep. But
Gotta be careful with that.
Liza could get away from her.
Yeah, but if anybody can reel her in, it's Brianna Malone.
There's very different approaches here.
I don't think Liza's already.
Yeah, it's too far.
Yeah.
I think Liza's going for that state record. She knows that her seed time is right there. And Anna Harmon is a class person to steal a state record from.
Comes Malone on the outside now.
Malone's not out of this race.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Let's be real. I think she's also adjusting to the pace. She just had a 400 not too long ago. She's probably getting back into it. Threw in 69. So they're 118, but it's more like 219 pace with the change. So she's got to actually negative split this one. She looked like she just picked it up. The gap is too big.
And O'Reilly's hanging right in there, and so is Petoni of Newmarket.
So we'll see how Liza can close down. She needs a 66 to break the record.
Malone trying to pull a Dave Waddle here.
Yeah.
Except Liza's the one with the hat.
That's true. Too big of a gap now.
Yeah.
Here comes Liza.
I'm not catching Liza. Liza's got 2 championships in the last half hour.
From a team standpoint, looking
close.
pretty good, though. You
So-
get the 1-2.
Yep. 38
If
points.
Malone can hold in there.
Malone might
I
not.
don't know.
Now she's going to go to the reserve. So Liza's going to
Close to that state record.
Second off.
It. And Brianna Malone's going to get second. I mean, that's, 18 points right there.
So Malone, Panoni.
So Corzo's got 2 of 3 right now. She's in the 3,200 later.
And O'Reilly.
She's going to try to get the Triple Crown.
So Corso takes that in 2:18.30. Malone 2:24.67. Petoni 2:25.27. O'Reilly of Hopkins at 2:26.32. Stowe of Guilford 2:28.59. And Yendel of Portsmouth Christian 2:30.93. So there's all your places right there.
Yep.
Your 6 places. So Portsmouth Christian picked up 19 points there.
That swings it. I mean, they're
It's big.
doing their job. They're doing what they have to do if they want to win it. Because Newport scored a ton of points in the sprints.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great run from Corzo. Only a second off the state record.
All by herself, too.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen them kind of go at this together, but
That would have been a good race.
But the 400, 800
it
is a
doesn't
killer.
matter if you get, it's the theme of the day. Doesn't matter if she lost by 0.1 or 8 seconds or 6 seconds, whatever it was. Second is second. 8 is 8.
Right, and the whole time,
Did you guys hear the announcement about the time change for tomorrow?
Yep.
Everybody else is saying they haven't heard it, so I just wanted to make sure you guys knew.
Okay.
That we changed it. Thanks, guys.
So that would be for the Division III state record, Anna Harmon. Just not forget Hannah Parker, 206.42, has
Yeah.
the overall state record. And there's a lot of girls in between there, too.
I guess would you call
That's
it?
that's
is it
one of the
meet
toughest
record?
records.
Yeah.
That's one of the toughest records to get. Is that because think about, I mean, it's been death row to try to beat that state record, and it hasn't gone down yet. Hannah Parker's
What,
206.
206? Yeah, that's.
I mean, there's been some class 800 meters runners in the past 5 years.
I mean, 206 is ridiculous. That's so fast.
And I believe she ran that as a sophomore.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. That's one of the tougher ones. That's in the tier of I think it's in the tier of like Eli Moskowitz is 844 and that type.
There's
Like
some really good ones out there. Dominic Filiano's got a 64, I think, and Dwight Barbier's got a
The shot put.
7'1" high jump. There's some really good ones out there.
Yeah.
Dominic Worsley,
it's
I
like,
think, he's got
it's
a
like
29.
that class of
Yeah.
ones that have been there
There
for
was-
a while and are going to be there for a while.
There are some records that are real records, and then there's other records. You know,
I mean, well, that 206 is the New England record as well, isn't it?
I am not sure if it is, because she did the 206. She didn't do it in the New England Championships. She did it.
Sidney Massarelli might have just
Right.
run faster than that. I think she ran like a 204.
I think she did it at Nationals when she ran the 206.
But she's also private school. She's private in Massachusetts, so that might change.
I always wanted to just figure out what record is actually the top echelon of all the records.
Yeah, the best record of them all. All right,
All right.
we have girls 200 meters right here. So starting this out,
Got Poitras, Pollock, Furman, Fellows, Seymour, and Rice in this heat. Pretty close.
yeah, very close. I think it's gonna be
Newfound.
yeah,
Seymour?
So Seymour 29.28, Poitras 29.68, Furman 29.76, Rice 29.96. So the New England record is by Danae River 05. Hannah had it and got it broken. So I mean, there you go. If you can have a New England record, I mean that's judgment alone on how good a record is, because that opens up the amount of people, the sample size a little bit.
All right, because I mean, then you're looking at like all historical runners from.
Yeah.
I'm thinking New England records. The
states.
only New England record left, maybe.
Delasima.
Well, and a girl from Somersworth through the javelin. I think she might still have it.
Really?
think
Delasima's record, I feel like, is still there. The 48 and the 48 and whatever it was, 48-10 maybe. So that's something we got to look up. So in the second heat of the girls 200 meters, we have Kyla Igabrunt of Fall Mountain, Alyssa McCarthy of Interlakes, Ava Houle of Campbell, Lilina Chiricella of Monadnock, Sam Boett of Wilton Lindborough, and Jada Edgren. Liliana Ciccarella is the favorite in this. It's getting close. Ooh, this can be down to the wire right here.
Wow, that's a close one.
I
Man.
think it's Sam Boett, the winner of the 100. It is Sam Boett by .02.
Wow.
And that's the closest race of the day.
Yeah, 0.02 of a second.
Yeah, that's Sam Boett. I'm pretty sure did
So
win the
Boett
100
took
meter
that in
earlier.
27.89. Chicharella of Monadnock 27.91. Houle of Campbell 28.13. Igabro of Fall Mountain 28.20. Edgren 28.32. McCarthy 28:43.
They're going to do a little break and then start the 3,200 meter at 6:45.
To the triple jump. Shaylee Gunning Labour of Laconia. Do the triple jump, please. Thank you.
I think,
So
is Del Seema's record still there?
the all-time record for the girls' javelin throw, Danica Ham, 149.06 for New England record.
Damn. That's Division III girl.
Yep.
Wow. That's a huck. I mean, that's crazy.
Probably the greatest New England record, national record overall, is probably
A
Hall.
long jump.
A long jump,
Yeah. What'd she do? Like 21?
22 feet at one point.
Yeah. How do you beat that? I mean,
Speaking of state records,
Was she
the
the one
girls'
that-
200 record was set in
20
1971.
Wow. Yeah, Kathy Lawson,
24-4.
24-4.
but the thing with that Hall, didn't a girl break the national record and then she broke it on the very
Right
next
after. Yeah, she did 2011 at New England's and then came back and jumped 22.05.
Yeah, and the girl right before her
And she won the
broke
100 that day,
national
too, I
record.
believe.
And then she had it for about a minute. Well, yeah. The 2 mile record must be 8:43, right? Oh, it's probably not actually, because you have to run it there for New England's. Yeah, it's tough. It's such a tough metric to say what is the best ever New Hampshire record.
You're also thinking about like
And I'm biased. I'm going to say
specific
Eli
state
Moskowitz is
meet
the best
records.
one, but I also ran the 2 mile and I know how hard that is. But I mean, Billy Powers is phenomenal. Like there's so many records that are just unbelievable. And it's tough because you want to avoid recency bias and say, okay, is it difficult because it's never been broken, or is it easy because it's been broken? Because, like, you could say that javelin, oh, it's not that hard, but I mean it's 200 feet and it was just broken by 2 animals. You know what I mean? Like the newer records, you can't say are bad just because they're new.
right.
So it's kind of difficult to assess.
And also that's the thing is like our records better because like they've been broken over and over and over again. They keep getting better,
Yeah.
or is it like ones that have stood for so long? You know?
Or do you go based off of, like, what's the top time? So my metric would be, how does the time rank in the nation's history? And I think the top one in the nation's history is that 2 mile. Because it's still
I mean,
top
it's-
15.
Yeah,
ever,
at the time
ever
it
run,
was what, like 7th or 8th, I think.
ever run in United States high school history.
Right.
I don't know if there's ever been another performance that meets that. I mean, what's Danica Ham's? There's no way it's top 15 in the nation ever. I think that's the most, because the sample size is so big that you can assess.
I know the only boys' time that's in the national top 10 is, well, I'm going to put that out to you guys. Who do you think has that
Where? Right now?
for a New Hampshire boy?
Like ever?
Yeah, in an event.
Are you saying right now? Like
Yeah,
in
right
this
now
year?
he's still ranked in the top 10 in national history. It's an odd event.
Is it like decathlon or something like that?
Steeplechase, Corey Thorne,
Oh, really?
I was gonna say.
Oh,
like,
is it
like
2,000
race walk.
meter?
2,000 meter steeplechase. All right, we got the 3,200 coming up.
The thing with that is we don't have that at a state meet, so can you call
Right.
that a state record?
No, but he's the only one. He's the only boy ranked in the top 10 in the United States right now with the time. And there's some studs in there. So you got Liza Corso, number 1 seed, coming in. Portsmouth Christian already won 2 on the day. 10:59.75. Delaney Swanson of Monadnock. Hannah Bennett of Hopkinton. Adya Chapman of Moultonborough. Katie Palmeter of Bishop Brady. Lily Bear of Kearsarge. Quinn Aldrich of Messinic Regional. Alyssa Hall of Monadnock. Anna Bentley of Monadnock. Aurora Kuto of Belmont. Casey Hemming of Campbell. And Malaya Richer of Kearsarge. So there's a big difference between 10:59.75 down to our last person.
It's gonna be a lap fest most likely.
So Liza Corso, she's got
What's the state record here? 10:44.
Andrea Walken, who's absolute stud.
That's pretty tough.
Our state record is
fast.
10:05. Jackie Gone.
Oh yeah, division record. Apologies. 10:05.
Division 3 record of 10:44.
That's
Probably
pretty
not
fast.
in jeopardy, but you never know. She might just go for it.
She did look like she went into the reserves a little bit in that 800.
When she ran a 10:59 the other day against Cole Brown, Addison Cox went out and dominated the race, and Eliza just sat back, ran the 10:59, but she had so much left. I wish she had just,
Did she?
battled with her for a while, because I legitimately think she could run that 10:44.
Yeah,
Definitely clean. She could run it.
all right day. I mean, if she goes to the MOCs, rips it, and goes out with Addison and breaks it, she still gets that Division 3 record, right? Or does she not because it's at the MOC?
It's not-
I don't think so.
You don't get it
No.
then. You only
You
get
have
it
to
at
do it
just
at
meet.
the meet. So it really is a meet record at the
Right.
Division 3 state championships.
Although Russell Brown's 150 didn't happen at a state meet.
That was at Nationals, wasn't it?
It was at a Hanover Invitational race.
But neither did Eli's.
Right. So neither
Eli's
one
was
of them.
Laux.
So I was kind of always weird about what
Does it have to
Races-
be on state soil, or does
Yeah.
it,
Yeah, there's another thing.
Could you go international? Like if you had a really good, like there was Ryan Oosting for the, he ran for Massachusetts, and he went and ran over in Europe.
there was a kid Vanderhoof
Ran a
from
time faster
Timberlane.
than.
I forget what his time was, but it was actually better than the state record at the time, but it was never counted as a state
And
record.
they just went through an 80. That's really fast.
Yeah, that is actually.
So 5:20, which is a 10:40. So she's 4 seconds under the state
And-
Division 3 record.
And she's got company. She's passing now.
Lily Bear, Kearsarge. Malia Richey, Kearsarge. Liza Corso.
I think Corso just said something. Hey, can you stick around and eat some company in this race?
Yeah, she's the
It's like
best
she's
by
almost trying to slow her
a
down.
minute.
Cassie Hemming of Campbell.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked like Liza got
32
in front of her
seconds.
and tried to slow it down. She was not having it.
So state record can happen anywhere. It doesn't matter as long as it's within season.
State record,
And I think,
not
yeah,
divisional
state record. Yep. And I think Vanderhoof's time didn't count because school year had already ended.
So he graduated.
It's within a parameter of time.
Yeah, whatever the defined season is.
Yep.
Huh. So if you went out and say you. What if you said it before?
Because if Cole Brown,
What if you go down to Texas in February?
if a Cole Brown kid set a record, it probably wouldn't count because they get done school in April. So I'm just kidding. That's a knock at Tim. So I know he's listening in. Start
we
school.
don't
in-
count Cole Brown records anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go around graduating like
Speaking
right
of which,
now.
Hannah
so-
Parker. So Hannah Parker, Fall Mountain, when she set that state record, that was impressive.
Yep.
Hannah of Fall Mountain. Remember her?
Who was it?
Hannah Parker, Fall
Hannah
Mountain,
Parker.
206.
All right, so let's get this battle going. Let's see how where she's going to be at. She's going to pick up 30 points for her team.
I like this girl going with her.
Yeah, it looked like Liza
Gotta get a
passed
bib
her
number
and
on
tried
that.
to slow her down, and she just went right back around her.
So I think that's Delaney Swanson,
yeah,
right?
of Monadnock.
So she is the second best in this. But she's rolling the dice. I like it. Sometimes you can get a big enough lead that guarantees you first or second. Guarantees you second, I should
Yeah.
say.
I remember a guy named Landon Valancourt got a really big lead, and it pretty much guaranteed him second. Remember that?
Is indoor
O'Brien.
in the 1500.
Yeah, so 4:10.94 coming
about-
through.
He about lapped Andy O'Brien and still lost.
But pretty much guaranteed him second.
That's always funny when that happens. It's like she's actually getting gapped right now.
Yeah,
You
this
know what?
could be
I
interesting.
like the strategy here because Liza's already got 2 runs under her belt,
Right.
and if you're going to beat her, you got to beat her fast.
And Swanson, I believe, this is her first race on the day, I believe.
Yeah, so if you're fresh, you got to take it to her and say, "Hey, let's go."
Right.
How
I mean,
much?
you,
How much
you
did
know
go
coming
the
into
reserves
this, it's
before?
like, okay, I'm fresh. Like, this is my first race. You know Liza's already run 2 races. You know, even if, maybe she backed off a little bit, but it's like, she's already got 2 races under her belt. You might as well just go after it.
She kind of looks like she just got broken. I mean, you never count out Liza Corzo, but I mean Swanson. Look at what she's doing right now to the
I mean, yeah, I mean,
two-time state champion on the day.
you'd think, if Liza was feeling good, that there wouldn't be this gap here, because you don't really want that big of a gap if you're gonna try to kick.
Too many times, like you said about
Halfway
Eli
through
Moskowitz.
right now.
That time you ran a 10:30. Why wouldn't you go and force the race, even though you're probably only gonna get second place anyways? Just force it.
Yeah,
I
to go
did
against
that.
Yeah, but someone
We-
other than you.
Right.
So
We were running.
Hey, yeah, it's always
we were
there's
running
someone else.
like 11 something pace.
That's crazy.
And so I took it, and then they just sat on me for 4 laps, and then
And
I
gone.
came in like 6th or something.
I mean, we just had the America East Championship, 10K, right? These are guys that can run, 14 flat in the 5K. The best guy in there was 29:06, and they go out in the first mile in 6:11. First mile 6:11. These guys
so
are
happens championship races.
6:11. It's just crazy how, when it's championship racing, it doesn't matter. The times are thrown out the window.
I love to see at those times when you have races with rabbits in them.
Yeah.
And no one goes to the rabbit, and so they're just like, all right, fine, I'll just win.
just right now, Swanson's on 11:16 pace, so she's
Swanson's gonna win this race.
well
Looks
ahead
like
of
it.
where she has run before. She's looking down at her feet, so yeah, I got plenty left.
Honestly,
Huge
Liza
lead.
might not have second sewn up.
No, I don't. She looks broken. She looks like what Swanson did broke her. And that to break Liza Corzo is a huge feat.
Yeah, I mean, look at this pack for third coming up.
Yeah, she's pretty gassed.
It's tough.
She's got
it's not your typical
12,
triple crown
13-second lead.
You got to remember that. She didn't have the boys' races breaking this up.
Yeah, this year is going to be hard to run 3 events.
I mean, if ever a year to do a triple crown, this is not the year. This
that-
is the toughest one. For
You know,
sure.
we were just told that tomorrow they're going to speed up events.
Yeah, tomorrow's
most
gonna be
likely.
the worst of
Yeah.
all of them.
Beware, Great Gandini, if you're running 3.
I know the great Gandini.
You might want to have the option of being able to pull out of the 800 if they're changing the schedule at this point in time. Just saying, if I was your coach, that would be my argument.
Yeah, because in what he's referring to is the rule is once you scratch, you can't compete again. And the 800 is before the 3200.
But we're set on a scheduled event time, and if that changes, I think you got to give some benefit to the athlete. If they're speeding up the meet, might have the option of getting out of the 800.
Yeah, I mean, even today with the brakes was still fast.
Still fast.
And so if we're just gonna go, one after another all day, it's like you're gonna be running the mile, the 8, and the 32 all within like an hour.
That's just crazy. It's a workout at that point. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like it's the
Well,
most
and-
important
and we
workout
also-
you'll ever do.
We also have a different format of going to the Meet of Champions next week also.
It's no longer time,
It's not on your time.
so it's
course,
back.
it's hanging in
Well,
there
it was
really
only
good.
time for for like what, 2 years? Because then it turned into, because for the longest time it was like 3 from D3 go and whatever it was, 5 from, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
D2 and as it goes up.
Yeah,
But
I
then
think
they
it was
tried
like 3,
for a little
4, and
bit.
5 or something.
No matter what you can run, if you ran fast enough, you're in. That actually helped my teammate, Aiden O'Hearn, because he was injured on our senior night, was not allowed to run at D1s because he had stitches in his ankle, and then came back and ran at MOCs and made New England's in the mile.
I realize there's rules, but rules can be changed, especially with the whole COVID thing. So
Yeah, it was a little weird year. So
I understand that there is some rules, but I would be arguing that one.
It's like the wrestling rule. You can't run 20 minutes, or you can't wrestle 20 minutes. You have to have a spaced out. Can't be under 20 minutes, 2 different meets.
all right, so we're coming up last lap here.
Last lap right here.
All right, we're tagging out commentators here. All right.
Delaney Swanson is going to rip this one today.
Yeah, Liza's now moving into 3rd.
Yeah, she's going to be careful. She might not be making MOCs next week in the 3200. Delaney Swanson is getting stronger and stronger. She can smell this state championship.
She looks great. She got almost 100 meters.
That's what happens when you go for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might be scared to do something like that. It's like, you know,
She
Liza's
looks great.
such the big favorite. You know, you don't want to try something like that, but she went for it.
She looks great.
100 meters. Delaney Swanson of the Nadine. She pushed the pace by herself.
Nice job over her teammate.
11:28.
Yeah, and she got the fist pump from her teammate. That was awesome. 11:29.08 for Swanson. Palmeter of Bishop Brady's going to take 2nd place. Liza Corso 3rd place. So she finished up at 26 points for. That's a heck of a triple she had to do. Still picked up 26 points.
Yeah, that's got to be tough.
Corso was 11:55. Bennett was 12:02.
Liza didn't have the first 2 easy races either. So
No, those were.
you can go into it and have a triple like that and be able to kind of take a jog in the first 2 races. But if you don't have them easy, that 3rd one's gonna really kill you.
Yeah, I mean, especially that 8. You know,
She
that
went
was
for it.
fast.
2:18.
Yeah, I mean, she's a second off the state record. It's like, you know, that's gonna use up some gas.
It really depends. I'm sure she was going for the state record, so that probably meant more to her than being fresh for the 3200.
So what would you do next week if you're in the Meet of Champions? What would you do? Go for the 800?
I would stick with what she did, the 16 and 8. I think that she would have a good chance with those 2 races. And then going into it, if she feels not great in her first race, then just take it easy and get ready for the next one.
But either way, she won a couple state championships today, and I don't think she's ever won a state championship before up until that moment.
Yeah. So the 3,200 meter state champion this year, Swanson from Monadnock, with a great race.
Yeah, she earned it.
Just went right for it.
All right, so now we get the 4x400.
was a great race.
It's very impressive.
State champion. I mean, when you're a 40-second underdog, 30-second underdog, and you go out and you win a state championship over Liza Corzo, that's impressive.
So we got Newfound, Hopkinton, Campbell, and Conant. Hopkinton's the top seed with a 430.68 in this heat. It'd be nice if we knew what the team score was right now.
Yeah, 4x4 is
Super.
always a
I have
big
a feeling
deal.
it's pretty close.
Who do you think's winning? Newport?
I'm not sure.
It's so hard to tell.
Yeah, like Newport's been getting a lot of points, Kearsarge, and Portsmouth Christian's been racking them up. So
So you think Portsmouth Christian? Do you think Corso's got another 400 in her? Huh?
I don't know.
I think she could do it.
Yeah, she's got like a whole 4 minutes to
Plenty of time.
cool down.
That's tough. That is tough. It's always tough though. That's not like uncommon.
No.
That the
no.
32 4x4 double. That's a horrible double. It's so difficult.
Yeah, I mean, there's no time in between. Like,
Now, what do you do with her? Do you lead off or do you anchor?
I mean,
You wanna anchor.
I want to anchor, yeah. Because, like, just get a couple extra minutes, you know? You get, like, 3 extra minutes if you're anchoring, say.
So we got Campbell,
Yeah.
Conant, and Hopkinton. Hopkinton's got the lead now.
See how these handoffs go.
Yeah, but I think Portsmouth Christian should be.
Everybody gets through the zone clean.
Portsmouth Christian's got to be in first.
You think?
Yep. Because 18, 28.
They made 19 out of that 800-meter race.
Oh, yeah. 29. Oh, she just got 6. 35. No, that's not going to do it because Newport was
I think Newport.
100 meters, so they got 10, 10, 4x1, 10.
And they're gonna get
They
they're
must
gonna
have
get
got
10 more in this
scraps.
race. You watch.
So, Newport might be winning this, but then
But it's hot-
Kearsarge has got some here and there, and it's going to be a very low-scoring state championship for sure. The more teams that are involved, the
Yeah,
lower
it's
scoring
been.
wins.
It seems like it's been pretty spread out.
I'm going with Newport.
You are? I think so too.
So Campbell's got the early lead over Hopkinton.
It looks like a pretty good race.
You got to
between
factor in
those two
Campbell's
teams.
got actually a lot of points. Tori Allen by herself scored 27. Seems like every team's got their golden goose.
Hopkinton's got some points. It's like a 5-way race right now,
Yeah, it's tight.
but it'd be nice.
Newfound.
Thinks so Hopkinton's got the early lead. Hopkinton's ripping this right now.
Jeez.
They've really opened it up.
Yeah, that last leg they pulled a lot out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how this meet ends up.
So we got Hopkinton out in front. And Hopkinton's leading the way for the score with 54. Newfound's got 49. Portsmouth Christian's 45. Newport 38. So it's a tight team race.
Yeah, so Hopkinton's in this for blood. Wait, but if Newport wins, so Newport's out of it. Newport.
Well,
can't win.
we don't have all of the events scored yet. But I would say Hopkinton is there.
All right, so I'll have to remember that time, 4:23.95, because that's pretty quick for this this section. So that could bump them up. That should put them ahead of some of the teams in this section. It's at the very bottom of the page, I think. Oh, that's where I found it.
Yeah, it's so weird because me and my dad, we're doing it right now. We don't have it. Or maybe it's this one.
He's got it. He's got it. I don't have it.
All right, so in this section, we have Kearsarge, Newport, Portsmouth Christian, and Newmarket. So, Hopkinton, we saw, won the last heat with a pretty fast time, so they could beat some of these girls, which would bring them up, score like 4 or 6 points-ish.
Yeah. And, I mean, any point counts when it's this close, and Hopkinton could win this state championship. It is going to come down to the scraps.
Yeah, I mean, Newfound Regional is not in this heat. But you have Portsmouth Christian.
And Newport.
Who obviously will look, they should be pretty good in the 4x4.
And that's Hopkinton get a lot of points. They got some points in the triple jump and I believe the long jump.
It's going to be one of those things, I think,
that's why
with this one that you're going to find out at the end.
Right. You just got to wait.
That's
got to wait for everything to tally up.
That's what you want. Those are the best state championships. When it's like, who won? All the
no
pressure's
idea.
going into the 4x4. And because the athletes know that. They don't know who's winning. So they're just going to go out there and
right. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you're
gear.
standing at the line in the 4x4 and you're like, I need any point I can get because you don't know what the score is. Like, you don't know whether you're ahead, whether you're behind. Like, so you're just trying to get every point you can.
The year we won state championship over at Concord, my freshman year, when we had the unbelievable sprinters, we were down like 4 or something like that, 4 points, I think, going into the 4x4. And we needed to win, and Pinkerton needed to be no better than third.
So Newport had the late lead over in that first lap.
Yeah, right ahead of Newmarket, but then Portsmouth Christian now moved up into second.
So the 4x4 can decide state championships, and it often does.
I mean, this could be a big race for Portsmouth Christian.
They got to do something. They got to get themselves in there. When you thought, because fresh, Liza Corzo gets that 10 points, you'd think. But Swanson came to play. I mean, she took that state championship, and she's the one to beat. But that 4 points may matter. So we have Newport killing it right now. They have a monster lead.
Yep.
And it looks like Portsmouth Christian dropping back into fourth now.
I think if this was just a track meet without the field, I think Newport would take this easily.
Yeah, especially if it's a sprinting meet. Newport is by far the best sprinting team in the state.
Yeah, Portsmouth Christian got a lot of track points too.
Yeah, they did. But I don't think they got as much as Newport did. The thing with Newport is they got a couple different girls. And
Man, this is a big lead.
yeah, you don't really see a lead like this too often.
They're coming back though, it looks like.
But you got to factor in that they're handing off to Eliza Bates, who just won the 100. Or she won the
hurdles,
excuse
both
me,
the hurdles.
100 hurdles and 300 hurdles. The 100 was won by Sam Bowen.
In the
Man,
4x1.
They reeled her in. That lead is gone.
Well, I bet you they get it back.
See who's closing.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they got the right person to hand off to.
Yeah, that's who I'd want to be handing off to.
Although Brianna Malone is anchoring. She's anchoring for Portsmouth Christian, but
they're pretty far back.
they're way back. She ain't making that up.
No,
I bet you she doesn't get last, though.
might not.
No, I think she will.
Yep, she's tapping it in.
Got what, 50 meters?
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't go out like she's going to go try to get that.
No.
She's done her job.
I don't know. They're still trying to beat the teams in the first heat though. Got to think about
Hey,
that.
I think so.
All right, Hopkins put up a pretty good time from that first heat.
So the division record's 4:06.04. We'll see.
That's nowhere near. It's not in question here.
Nope,
No.
no question about that.
So Eliza Bates looks to close this out over the last 100. She's got to finish, though. Campbell's coming up. Excuse me, Newmarket. With the same exact uniform. It's going to be Eliza Bates and Newport. taking this.
4:22.42.
Then Newmarket, then Kearsarge.
So Hopkins probably did slide in there for second place. So they're going to most likely win a state title here.
No, that should win you a state championship. That's 8 points. That's huge. 8 points out of the slow heat.
Yeah, that was big.
Hopkinton, that's it. They win a lot. They're a bunch of winners. The Hopkinton girls, you know, always. I always remember them winning. Like their team, even middle school, all that stuff. Growing up. They win a lot.
Yeah, I know they gave me enough fits. We're pretty much even with them. They beat us a few times. We beat them a few times, but they've turned out to be pretty good runners.
Yeah, that's good to see that you develop from middle school. You're good, but you're still good in high school. That's how it's supposed to be.
The bell has been cut down.
That's it. All the events are done.
So we need to know who won. I believe it's Hopkinton. I said it right along that Hopkinton was going to win today. Just want to make that known. All those other voices, I don't know what they were saying, but
I remember hearing you say Kearsarge would win off the gun, and I believe I said Hopkinton, but that's okay.
All right,
I
who'd you
I
give your blessing to?
Well, I called the meet at 14
Remember.
points.
remember he said
I
Kearsarge.
said Kearsarge would win
Kearsarge.
after
Oh.
14 points, and
Yeah,
Oh yeah, after the
but
the
it was
first
close.
event, right?
You got any
yeah.
more scores coming up yet?
Let's see.
Only your phone can get them, I guess, because mine doesn't seem to
we're gonna.
put them down.
Seems like we might find out soon.
Yeah,
Hopkinton?
let's see.
Winner? Still don't know.
Girl from Eliza.
Yeah.
Eliza Bates. Yeah,
That would be my vote.
because she
Yeah,
won
she
the
won 3
hurdles,
events.
just anchored.
Oh, yeah.
Won 2 and got what?
Third, yep.
Yeah, Eliza Corzo makes a serious
Did
case.
Newport girls win the 4x100?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she wins
she's-
4 events.
She scores 30. Liza scores whatever they. She might have scored around 30 or maybe 31 with that. With that, Tori Allen scored 27.
Did Liza run the relay too?
No. So Liza didn't score as much. She scored 26.
I'd say Bates.
My apologies. I just.
It's a lot of stuff going on.
All right, looks like Hopkinton is your 2021 girls Division III champions with 58 points.
Wow.
Do they have anybody in the triple?
They do have somebody in the triple, so that score might go up, but they can't.
I don't
They
think
can't
can
lose at
They're
this
so
point.
far apart.
Because the only results we're missing are triple jump, but none of the teams that they're competing with have anyone in triple. So, well, even if they did, they are. Let's see, they're 9 points over Newfound Regional with 49.
Tight, right? Tight meet, huh?
Super tight.
Yeah, second and
Second
third
and
pretty
third.
close. 1 point. Newfound with 49 and Newport with 48, and then Portsmouth Christian with 46 as of right now. Once again, without the triple jump results.
All coaches, before you leave, pick up your
Yeah, it's so that's without the triple jump you just said.
Yep. But triple jump,
Let's see how they did though.
Hopkinton has someone in triple jump who is seated first,
Okay.
and none of the other top 3 teams have girls in triple. So
So Hopkinton, who's your 2021 champions for Division III. Congratulations.
Yeah, they were sneaky. They kind of won here and there, and they.
Hey,
won the
that's
big
what we were
relays.
talking
But
about.
that's
at
what
the
track and
beginning.
field's about. What we're looking at is we're not being able to see all the.
Yeah, no, we actually made that point exactly when we said it's not about winning those big races and getting 0, because, like we said, 10 and 0 is 5, but if you get 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, all
Grace Hall
those-
did win the triple for Hopkinton. They locked it up.
There's another 10 points.
So Hopkinton won a lot on the field.
Yeah, that's.
They
and
did
that's
well
the
all
other
the way
thing,
around.
that's the hidden points.
But it was a great meet that went really, really good. So we'd like to thank Runners Alley, Tim's Truck Capital, and Lancer Timing for everything that they've done for Division III state championships today. And we'll see you again tomorrow where we do it all over again.
Boys side.
And that should be
Maybe,
really interesting.
maybe a little faster this time.
Expedited
Yeah.
version.
So, perfect weather day. Congratulations to Hopkinton winning the state championship.